actually switched out Amelia, so she went through a change.
What's up, guys?
We have our boy over here, Alex Pereira from House Vanguard. He actually topped one of the qualifiers for Kingslayer for Premium, and he'll be playing tomorrow.
I am.
You
Very
excited?
exciting time. Very exciting time.
Do you know anything about Standard?
Anything about D standard? Absolutely not. I know that we got grade 4s in like most of the clans. That was kind of tight. Then I heard that we got Shaman King. That I learned that today. And I learned that their overtrigger busted. Like broken. Pings them with damage and all that. And I was like, yo, excuse me?
Yo,
And like some crazy stuff with like the soul or something like that, spirit.
Yep. Insane. But we actually got some familiar faces for you. We got Edward Garcia against Marshal. Those are not the nations they're playing, so don't listen to that.
I know those guys. Man, I remember Ed back in like the day when V Premium like first started, and I could think just when before V Premium and just before the end of G Series. That's like around the time when you got me into the game, and
Yeah.
that's where we met Ed.
So it looks
Marshall, I can't believe I don't think I met until like way later in the game.
later
like-
in the day.
Yeah, like we're talking KSC days. I'm like 95% sure.
So they're getting ready into the round, but before I go in, I totally forgot that I need to change their point system, but I totally forgot to do that. Can you believe that?
And you believe that. It's all good though. I mean, minor technical difficulties happen, and that is the quick correction. But in the meantime, it looks like the game's going on strong. I guess they're just starting off.
Yeah, we'll just get straight into the match here. So it does look like we're dealing with Stoichea on Edward's side and Dark States on Marshal's side. Because you don't know, I'm going to keep you mostly informed. So Bruce is pretty much like Spike Brothers
Right.
for Dark States, but more in aesthetic than in ability. So
I get that part with the D standard stuff. It's like all the same, but like they're more archetypal, aren't they? They're like very like
focused
Bruce
on
was
their-
like Final Rush, and it's like everything, all the sports like around Final Rush per se.
exactly, yeah, so they are very archetypal. So he did go just into Richard and put Matt into Soul to draw a card.
Shout out Richard.
Kingslayer cards. And now we're gonna change up their records. I do believe they're both 2-0.
Just imagine shouting across the room like, "Hey, what's your score?" while they're in like intense playing position. I've never seen players so focused, except for myself when I'm playing.
Now we have confirmation that Edward is playing Flagberg. Flagberg itself is like pretty much Maelstrom.
Okay, I heard Flagbird's a little bit new to me.
So Blackbird has this like multi-attack aesthetic to it, depending on the waves of attack. So it's like exactly like Aquaforce.
Okay,
But
that's exactly the deck he was playing when I met him. Full circle.
yep. So Inlet's skill is that when it's the first attack, you can Soul Blast one and stand it. Then the other grade 2 is when it attacks, or when your other unit attacks, counterblast one and stand that one. Since he only has one counterblast available and he doesn't want to waste too much soul, he's ignoring the Inlet skill and just focusing on the 4 attacks. With the 4th attack, he is going to be able to put that Trident that's behind Inlet to soul and countercharge 1.
Trident?
Yeah, that little kid over there is holding a Trident.
Oh, I follow. I thought for some reason it was like an order card, kind of like the equip card things that we've seen come around, like armaments or whatever. For some
yeah,
reason,
armaments.
I assumed it was that, and this was like some Aquaman shenanigans going on.
So he is now going to go with the 3rd attack. Actually, I was incorrect. And he's going to see what triggers he gets to give to his grade 2 rearguard. So first check coming in, critical trigger, giving all the crit to that grade 2. Second check, no trigger.
That sucks. Sometimes it feels really good when you get one crit and you're trying to ride the high of that, and then like you follow up with a normal unit and you're kind of like sad. You're like, man, I could have really pushed some damage on you if that was another crit. And then next turn, you have to guard everything. Great feeling. Too
Yep.
bad.
Now we're going to Marshal's turn right here. Deciding what he's going to do. Has the DSR Bruce on the field, looking beautiful with that Clamp illustrated artwork.
The
First check
Viking at work.
is a heal trigger, I believe. He 1 point of damage. And second check is Unrivaled Bruce, the grade 4 of the deck. That Leonard, he has power, but he does notice that his opponent just guarded the attack, and he doesn't want to give him the counterblast he needs. I do think there was a slight misplay on Ed's part because he was on the 4th attack, and he didn't put Trident and Soul to get that counter charge. So I don't know if he was planning to keep it and then use it next time when he really needs it, or if he was hoping to counter charge with it now. See, he's talking about sighting on that factor.
Well, you know, different players have different motives. Maybe it was an intended miss.
Intendedness?
An intended miss.
Intentional?
Yeah, absolutely intentional.
Alright, here we go. That rear guard skill is when it attacks a rear guard. Soul Blast 1 and Standard, it was the first battle. And then we're going to be coming in with the 13k swing from the Moth. This is like a good poke. See if we can get a resource crowd out of Marshal's hand. He does decide to just give him the heal trigger. And here we go with the Flagbird swing. First checking, nothing. Second check, nothing. Just the basic swing coming in here, taking the damage, going to 3, and then finally off with the 18k, or sorry, 21k swing. Looks like he's going to take and go straight to 5. I'm shocked he's taking so much.
He's at 4.
Oh, yeah, 4. Different from premium, right?
Very different. I mean, normally by now you'd see another card on top of these cards. And normally I'd be seeing some wild stuff. Like if Marshal were playing, honestly, I'm pretty sure if Marshal were playing Spike Brothers, I would have been dead by now, right? That's how that deck works. I mean, Ripples is dead. Unfortunately. Well, I say unfortunately, but you know, we're all glad it's dead. It needed to go. Who bans a card? Unbans it thinking this problem's solved, and then immediately bans it again.
Bushy.
Find this unit face up, counter charge 1. Second counter charge, and like, you know, Link Joker doesn't, but we have Zinc, and then Zinc only works with Chaos Breaker, and then they gotta go, you know what's gonna be a problem? Chaos Breaker. So they preemptively zap that. But they can't do that for Narukami.
So anyone's wondering, he's talking about a card I just showed him for Gear Chronicle. But getting back into the match, it does look like Ed took the damage, hitting a critical trigger, getting 10k to the Vanguard. And here we are with Unrivaled Bruce. Unrivaled Bruce is attacking for, I believe, a 23k swing. Honestly, these numbers are very difficult. And it does look like he's going to go for the 2 to pass right here for 38. Let's see what the first check gives him. Nothing here. Second check, Leonard. And third check, nothing. He got a third check because he is on grade 4 Unrivaled Bruce. He's got a great skill now. Counterblast 1, Soul Blasting 5 to restand the Vanguard and the 2 rear guards. And Van gets drive -1.
So he just gets twin drive now. All right. So.
Oh, sorry. Drive -2.
-2. That's rough. I mean, twin drive.
I love your dynamic so early. -2? What a nag.
I mean, -1's pretty, you know, reasonable, I'd say. But I mean, you're soul blasting 5 cards for 2 less drives in this economy. That's crazy. You know, I can't really tell if Marshal's in a good position or bad position because he's at 4 damage, but he did just get like 5 cards now.
Yep, and it does look like Ed's taking the hit, going to 3.
Going to 3. 1 more, and he could be at Limit Break too. At least Limit Break's not a thing in this format. Not yet.
And now he's using the Blitzor that gives 20k shield to his Vanguard. It does look like he's starting up his turn again, getting into it. Does he have the Persona Ride? The Persona Ride would give 10k and make these attacks a lot easier, but he's just unsure yet. All right, and here we go. Survey says no Persona Ride.
Survey says. Is there like music playing? Okay, I thought I was tripping.
All right, so we're now coming back in.
Yeah, Marshal's going hard right now. You can't see it, but there's music in the background. It's crazy.
They can hear it.
Oh, you can hear it too? Yo, okay. Streaming's crazy. All right, that's cool.
Back to the match.
Streaming's the new meta. That's kind of hard.
All right, and here we go. It does look like Flagbird overexerted onto Marshall, putting him to 6, and now we're going to game 2. There wasn't much on those attacks. It was more like, realizing that the cards in hand are not going to be enough for that turn. So proceed to the next round or the next game.
Yeah, that early rush that Flagbird did for forward to put him to 4 was kind of rough. Yeah, pushing damage early does work.
You don't say.
Unfortunately, there are not a lot of clans, I think, that really benefit from you calling out your whole hand and then just swinging off of them. And then just being like, oh, I have a hand again, even though I just called it all to kill you preemptively.
The leaders.
The what?
The leaders.
The leaders, well, I mean, they suck.
Sure about that?
When I say they suck, I mean they suck because they're a garbage clan.
Aren't you playing the leader, Messiah?
I am. Now, there's a very important reason for this. The mechanic is utter BS. You just destroy, and it's free content. But you have like no cards in hand, and so it sucks if they live. But not the deck I was thinking of. I was thinking of Narukami.
How could you?
How could I?
How could you say that to the Naru Samurai?
How could I say that to Naru Samurai? Well, I could say that to Naru Samurai because Naru Samurai is flashing me some Gear Chronicle cards. Oh, wait. That's actually so irrelevant. No. We're talking about Naru, and you're showing me Gear Chronicle cards, and yet those two are completely different clans.
Narukami by day, Gear Chronicle by night.
Honestly, Gear Chronicle really is just reskinned Narukami. Convince me otherwise.
I will.
Yeah.
That's so not true.
What do you mean? They all say bind this unit.
All right, so back to the play-by-play. So we are coming in onto the right with the grade 1, soul blasting 1, drawing 2 cards, and discarding an order from hand. If he does not have an order in hand, he has to discard 2 cards from hand. Very similar to that Yukio card that you draw 2 and then discard a Dark Monster. If you don't have a Dark Monster, discard your hand.
What is Pot of Greed?
More like Dark Allure, but good job.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I remember that card. You used to play it in Dark Magicians.
Correct.
Yeah, I remember. Man, Dark Magicians was a nightmare for me because you just get Eternal Soul and that stupid circle. And that circle banishes your units. And you know what that means? They can interrupt your turn. You know, that means it sucks so much.
So Marshall went in with the Richard swing, pulled the heal trigger, healed 1 point of damage,
Richard.
and then Edward guarded the attack. So they're both back at 0 damage.
Does Richard get like a built-in crit? I feel like a grade 2 can do that with this clan or archetype.
No built-in crit.
Really? Does this clan or archetype have anything that does that? Like
Yes,
the grade 4
there's
even,
a grade 2 that says Soul Blast 2. If you're in Final Rush, Frontal gets plus 5k, and your Vanguard gains an additional crit.
Front row. Oh, your Vanguard. I thought your front was also an additional crit. I was like, I'm about to play some Spike Brothers.
But he was like, that's our rear guard skill? So does look like Marshall finally took the 1 point of damage available to him. It looks like he's not really going to use it. He's just going to ride and attack the Vanguard. Ed has to decide if he wants to guard his attack because the Flagbird does require counterblast to proceed the turn. Marshall pulls another heal trigger, heals another point of damage, going back to 0, and Ed is starting his turn because it did look like he intercepted for 1 defense. That's impressive. I wouldn't do it. I'll be too scared.
They're both at 0 damage.
Oh no, he did not intercept for 1 pass because he pulled the trigger, so I think he did guard the attack.
Yeah, he's also still at 0 damage.
0 damage game. I mean,
I was thinking that same joke, honestly. Sick moves by Ed.
It does look like he goes into the Flagberg.
Look at him go.
Hey. There's a lot of nerves coming into this.
I'm sure.
It's 2K, bro.
It is both events are 2K events?
Yes.
I did not know that.
You should have played standard.
But that would have been a 4K right there. I don't think I have the stamina to run through 2 events.
You know, I got second in standard.
You got second in standard at BCS? Now you could have done it again. Well, now I would say you could have done it again, but you could have gotten first here. And then could have had that whole trip paid off.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you see? I'm crunching the numbers.
I'll just take the 3 losses and go in. I can still top.
Yeah. All you need is to get the top 8, so then you can play it out.
Oh, yeah. So we are getting into Marshal's turn over here, calling the field of Marjorie's of all things. I wasn't expecting that one. And you just call a heal trigger and a PG. Is Marshal drawing?
You know the format better than I do. I just know that we have 0 damage on both sides.
So Marshal goes and puts the heal, so soul charges 1 and draws a card. Draws a card and then soul charges 1, and then he's doing it one more time. He's just building that soul overall for, I guess, the unrivaled Bruce turn. Ed just wants to stay at low counterblast, because if he proceeds to give Marshal the damage and he does the unrivaled Bruce turn with 5 crit on Bruce, it just becomes very difficult to guard. So he's just pre-planning, thinking ahead. I do think he is finally at 1, and that's probably all he needs, honestly.
Really? 1 counterblast for the...
As if he has the Trident, he'll be fine. It looks like he is going to go to 3, so... Second check. Heal trigger. Heals 1 point of damage, goes to 2.
Ooh. An F in the chat for Marshall. But a W in the chat for Ed.
Then Marshall's going to be coming in with the last swing here of Marjorie.
Swing, bada, swing, bada, swing. But this is football, not baseball. You know what would be really funny for these series? If instead of like sticking with this, football mechanic, they went ahead and did baseball. Imagine what a twist that would have been. Like, what if they all looked the same, but instead of football, they had baseball?
I'll take basketball.
Basketball would be pretty cool. That's how you get Richard to play. Shout out, Richard.
All right, so we are coming back into the match. He does go into the Flagberg with 2 counterblasts, has the rear guard, swing and add another rear guard. It's going to be 13-13, and if he, 23 because he Persona Rogue, to his rear guard, and at the end of the battle, it's going to Soul Blast 1 and stand himself. He does have the other grade 2 rear guard that's going to be on attack, or on the attack of your other unit.
That sounds like Tidal Assault.
It's Tidal Assault, but the other unit needs to attack, not him. So because it restood, he is not going to go with that swing and then follow up with the following swing. What's really good with Flagberg is the amount of attacks you get different procs. So base Flagberg counterblast 1, you draw a card. If you have 4 attacks, you retire 2 of your opponent's rear guards of your choice. And then with 5 attacks, you gain 10k and your opponent has to guard 3 or more.
Battle door with 3 cards. That's lame.
But what's really good about standard, right? Like, let's say you had 4 cards in hand and one of them was a PG. You don't have to discard for that PG because when you place 3 cards at the same time, you only have 1 card in hand.
That's convenient.
So PG would activate.
That's very nice. That's thoughtful of them. I like that. back in my day, a PG meant, you bite
discard
the
a card.
bullet and you discard the card.
So that 3 or 2 cards from hand is now 3 or 4.
Exactly. And even further back in the day, before my day, your day, there was quintet walls.
Oh yeah, you never saw those.
No.
You probably read one before.
In a museum.
Yeah, Card Fight Wiki.
Card Fight Wiki.
Those look like Ed is taking a good look at the field of how he's deciding things are going to be guarded. Marshall is
How many
finalizing that
cards
guard.
do they have?
A lot, actually.
Yeah? Oh my goodness. I'm kind
And
of
here we go.
surprised.
We're going into Unrivaled Bruce.
Not the grade 4?
It is the grade 4.
Nice. So we're going to restand for Soul Blasting 5.
Everything. Or the whole front row.
Oh joy.
And then he loses 2 drive after he restands. He may not be doing it, actually. He's just swinging with the Vanguard first. So I guess he's just getting the drives out of it. First check, second check, front. Third check, nothing. Taking the 1 point damage, damaging an inlet, putting him to 3. And then he is just going to be going and poking at his grade 2. Probably the reason for this grade 2 poke is just because that grade 2 goes off no matter when his rear guard swings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a guaranteed multi-attack. He did give a target for the other grade 2, so he can just pull off the 5 attacks again.
Oh, the dice are in play.
The die has been cast.
The die has been cast. I feel like with the quality of these microphones, I could feel like a good voice actor. I'm just saying, Bushiroad, hire me.
Well, guys, this was Alex. A very vibey guy.
All I'm saying.
He's like that character that works at the pizza shop in Stranger Things.
No. Not Argyle. You know, there's a I saw on TikTok, there's like a video and he does a rap. And like it's actually crazy.
All right. So back to the game.
The game is going on and it's Ed's turn.
Yep. So Ed is doing his swing play. I'm not sure if he's doing 4 or 5 attacks. He already attacked 1 to the rear guard, restanding, and now swinging with the other grade 2. Once the third swing happens, he is going to activate the skill of the grade 2 to stand it. So this currently is the 3rd swing. When he swings with his other grade 2, he's going to be able to put Trident to Soul to countercharge. So he's going to swing with his grade 2, right? On the 4th attack, he's going to be able to put Trident. Oh, he's not doing it.
Is there like a soft cap of 5 attacks in D standard right now?
Sometimes. Oh, he's doing it on the 5th attack since it says 4 attack or more. Getting the countercharge, counterblasting 1, drawing a card, and Battle Door effect. Guard 3 or more.
Ew.
It does look like Marshall is just going to take the swing, hoping for no critical, no crit there.
I like it.
And another
I like it,
no
Marshall.
crit, so taking the 1 point of damage and going to 5.
I like it. Sometimes you just got to bare chest the bullet and hope it doesn't, hit an organ. Ideally, don't take a bullet, but, maybe you come prepared for that.
I don't
Or
have
some
organs.
armor. What?
I don't have organs.
And then what do you have?
I'm a cyborg.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, all right. Don't take over the world, please. Do you play Metalborgs?
No. Childish games aside, we are now going in with the grade 2 swing. I do believe this is a 20k attack. After doing, man, I tell you, Marshall is too quick.
That is at 4. The game is getting saucier. He blocks. Marshall says drive check 1, 2, or 3. Looks like nothing, I think.
All right, now activating the skill of Unrivaled, Soul Blasting 5.
Oh, right. I forgot about this part, TVH.
And we're going to restand all our units and the Vanguard. Vanguard going in for a swing, hoping for a critical.
We only get 1 drive, though. Make it or break it, Marshall.
Are you showing some favoritism?
No, I mean, it's what he needs. I don't know how many cards he has.
And here we go with the 1 drive and another no trigger, bro.
4
just not seeing it.
non-figures. His deck looks thin too.
Oh yeah.
Both their decks, actually.
So now
think.
coming in with this, I believe 33k swing. Nah, no, it's just 23. Gets another critical trigger, getting plus 10 to his Vanguard. 1 to 5. It's all even here. Every move matters. And there we go, guarding it for 38k, starting its turn again, and drawing. Does he have the Flagberg?
Can he stride per turn?
Can he Persona Ride?
Can he persona right then stride?
For the amount of time thinking, I don't believe he has it.
Hmm?
I don't believe he has the Persona Ride.
Oh no, so that means no 10k in a draw?
Yeah, to the front row.
To the front row. But he wouldn't have any front row to really get the power though, wouldn't it? It'd just be his Vanguard.
Exactly. Well, if he calls, he can move the unit up and it'll gain 10k.
Before riding?
Yeah, it's a continuous to you skill.
Interesting.
So it's like continuous player. Front row gets plus 10k until end of turn.
Okay. So it just targets the whole front row regardless of what's there. I see.
So if something new enters the field, it will get it. So if you were to move something up, it would counter. It's very intuitive. Alright, so he doesn't have the Persona Ride, but he is going to be going into the inlet, activating Condensation. Condensation is a Soul Blast, and he's going to be able to call a unit onto the field. He decides to call the critical. So these are special crits. Each nation got one of these cards, so their skill is on attack, or at the end of battle of the attack, you may put it to soul and give something 2k. So he's actually calling the crit out, and it does have an additional 5k from Condensation, so he can put it to soul and then soul blast it out for inlet, so it can restand.
That sounds obnoxious. That sounds obnoxious to play around.
So the first attack of inlet was going to be 22. Now he's going to activate the skill, put it to soul, give 2k to a unit, and then restand it. Alright.
It looks like we're getting close towards the end game here. These swings are becoming a thought process. What's in hand? Will he guard it?
This is game 2.
This is game 2. All these thoughts are crossing the players' minds.
Yep, and now he's going to be coming in with the swing. He knows the attack's going to be nullified, so he just comes in with the Vanguard swing, places it down. Here we go, coming for the 2 to pass. First check, critical trigger, all effects to flag break. Does he get the second check? Oh, and it's another inlet, so he doesn't get the 2, but puts the inlet to soul 2, draw a card, and passes it over. That was close, guys.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards left in Marshal's deck.
So
No stress.
I don't know if Marshal runs draw triggers. I don't think I've seen one yet.
And you know what? That's the beauty of Vanguard. We don't know until it happens.
He does have exactly enough, but if he doesn't have the amount of cards in soul, he may not be able to even
It's still unsportsmanlike to declare final turn.
Yes.
Okay. I'm glad we don't do that then. But boy, would that be funny. Take notes for the TikToks.
So he's actually going to go down to 1 card, so he's down to 4. He's going to dry check 3. He can't use the skill of Unrivaled, because when Unrivaled restands, he would just deck out. Honestly. He is going to look at the drop, see how much triggers are left, since we are down to the wire here. I'm kind of worried on the count.
It's Omar. I thought that one was a kangaroo. Oh, they're actually all just Oh, handicap dogs. That's. The ads.
Okay. All right, so it does look like
Yep.
Ed, so it does look like Ed was able to guard the final attack, and Marshall ends up taking the L, just revealing the last card in deck, and Ed is going to be moving on. So Ed taking the win. Marshall now, I think Marshall already had
Marshall now.
3
X1.
wins. No, we were in round 4, so they were 3-0.
Yeah. So now X1.
Yes, but with this, he should be good. Moving on to the matchup.
Well, both good luck to both players, and hopefully they all progress very well into the round.
Yep. So I'm gonna go and repair because it did look like.
Yeah, you got to move the camera a bit now.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys in the next round. Be safe. Good luck.
And anything can happen in Card Fight Vanguard.
Yep. See you guys.
Ciao.